Hey, and I'm back. Okay, so you guys. So I was like thinking about this, right? Thinking about it for like a couple of hours, even though it's really been a couple weeks to 2 to 3 months, but I really was thinking about this for like a couple of hours, like nonstop. I was like, what if I briefly go over um kind of how I formulate song ideas? Um So what? Normally, I would write it down in like a book or something. Um, Whether it's like a plain or like a line, um, like line based, if you will, line paper. College ruled, wide ruled, journal, doesn't matter, right? I jot down ideas. I'm like, oh, okay, like for instance, um, okay, so for instance, I have an idea of basically writing a song about being a hopeless romantic. Now, the thing is with my titles, I formulate random titles, like on a whim. It's just the main problem that I face when it comes to like choosing a title is like I want a title that when I like, you know, sing about that title, it actually resonates with me personally. Um and some titles I really do like them. Like there's one title that I wanted to write a song about, which was ice sculpture, right? But but I don't know if I'm gonna continue. We'll see what happens. And I used to be like very afraid that someone was gonna take my title, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, nothing is, solely um like you could say it's original, right? But at the end of the day, like there will be other songs titled the same thing, like Omarion's Icebox. Like there's plenty of people who've done that. The originality really truly comes from how you write your song. Okay? And this is why I will always hands down stand behind small artists, big artists versus AI artists. Now, don't get me wrong, I have fallen for, some of the AI artists in the past because when I listen to music, I go based on how it makes me feel, right? Now, there's one artist, I believe his name's Ty Elliott. I'm still trying to decipher if that's a real artist or not because I love the song Bring It Back because it really does have like that 2000s nostalgic, moment, but it sounds like it was trained using Chris Brown and Neo and a variety of artists. But then when I look up um his account and everything, it looks like a real person. So I'm like, I don't know, like, but I do love that song. I will say some AI songs have advantages of kind of helping create, more of like the fuel, if you will, to be like, you know what? I could do a song just like this and do it better or worse. Various various results. Um Now, for me personally, I don't like the idea that they use, real artists. And I even saw a video where they were like saying that they even steal from YouTubers to help train these AI artists, if you will. And I was like, whoa. But you know what? You steal from us, we're going to steal from you. So some of the instrumentals that I hear, I'm like, boom, I'm going to snatch it right from them. Don't know what the guises are going to be pertaining to AI artistry at large because the industry is shifting more towards them based on the simple fact that they don't have to pay for styles, they don't have to pay for traveling fees, they don't have to worry about the singer giving pushback, they don't have to worry about you know if you're a woman, pregnancies, if you're a man, the whole like groupie thing, and just the whole 9 yards, right? That come with being a human being. But with that being said, it creates a soulless, you know, um, concoction, basically, because you're like, well, you're singing from you're well, for me personally, okay, I may not be the best singer yet. I'm working on it. Um, but I write from personal experiences. Okay, so one of the experiences that I am gonna end up writing about is how there was a guy that, you know, I work with, that I quite literally fell for, like fell hard. Okay, and so many different things just kept coming up, and it was just like, you and I will most likely not end up together. And no matter how hard I tried to, hold on to, some sort of like relationship as a friend, like it just wasn't, so it's kind of like I have that perspective and narrative that I want to tell. So, AI, all I can do is look at what's out there, take from those artists, but it will never have that true emotional compass to navigate through the song, or have a true storytelling element that comes with your perspective, your point of view of how things played out on your end, and then kind of trying to paint a narrative from the other person's perspective, from basically the opposite spectrum, if you will. So for me, like personally, like I know that me and this person have had conversations about where we stand as friends, like numerous times, and he told me something and opened up my eyes, and I didn't even look at it that way. I was like, damn, like you really feel as if I'm like the only person that like made this effort toward you. Then how come you don't like open up more to other people? And then that further went down like various um like tunnels, if you will. Weird way of putting that. But yeah, and then it just like opened up my perspective, because I was thinking like it was one way, and I was like, oh, like you're just like really open with me and honest, because I was being vulnerable with you, but in reality you felt like you could trust me because of just like previous things that other people didn't do or whatever. So I was like, excuse me, I was like, this could actually be like a really interesting song to write about. So we have AI beat there, let's be real. But back to what I was saying, because I went on like a tangent, and that tangent kind of like made sense, and then it stopped making sense, and then it started making sense. This is why I'm working on creating scripts for my videos. So what I basically do to come up, I like write down random titles, and I just work through them. But the one thing that I do love doing when I'm coming up and formulating like songs that I'm gonna write, or I want to write, or like stories that I want to tell, I basically just start with a word, any word that pops into my mind, like this, like optimistic, right? That's one word that I have been having pop up in my mind all day. Optimistic. Okay, and then what else comes to mind? Let's see. Opportunities. Failure. Determination. This isn't actually going to be like a real song for me. I mean, it might. Let me not say it might or might not be. So if you do want to borrow these ideas or take them, use them. I do not mind, because how you write your song is going to be completely different from how I write mine. And I'm still, again, working on, I hate saying it, but perfecting my like vocal instrument, and just like my skill playing instrument, because one thing that I've really been working towards is like audiation and being able to hear it in my mind so I can like play it back without having to like have physical instruments present, so then I can like match pitch better and do all that. And I've gotten better over time, but like I feel like it's time for me to just like start really showcasing like those raw moments where it's like you'll really see me trying to figure this out and navigate as like an untrained singer, songwriter, and instrumentalist. Like I'm untrained. Like I've had some like training through school, but I wasn't always grasping. I grasped better learning on my own than I did in a classroom environment. So I'm technically untrained, but everybody's definition of that is different, because I could tell someone like, oh yeah, like I went and had a little bit of choir in school for like a semester, didn't even finish the semester, and I had some piano playing in another semester. And they'd be like, well, technically you're partially trained or whatever, but in my personal opinion, I'm not trained. I'm very much so going at this from a raw point. Like sometimes it's painful. It's like painfully raw. Like let me stop. Okay? So, optimistic, opportunities, failure, determination. Those are the 4 words that popped into my mind from that singular word, you know. So 3 additional words, and then let me see. Uh-huh. This is like a new video type for me. Like I have not done this. I mean, I've done it like briefly on my old TikTok page last year, where I was like, you know, creating like random stuff on a whim, like little jingles and stuff. But this is like, it's vulnerable. It's a vulnerable moment for me. I'm like, damn. And you know, I listen to criticism, harsh or not, like, you know, it's gonna happen inevitably. So feel free to leave your comments. But if it is rude, I can't guarantee that I'm gonna maintain my composure at all times, because at the end of the day, I'm still working on not taking things personal and firing back. I mean, sometimes like I can just look at a comment and be like, you know what? Thanks for your not even input. Like sometimes people just try to be like rude, mean, or harsh, and I'm just like, I grew up in a different time. Like I fire back. But I've been working on not doing that. I used to, side note, tangent again. I used to like get on TikTok, and anytime someone would leave a comment that I'm like, oh, you want to play? We could play. So I would then do a response video. Whole mess. I stopped though. I finally grew. I was like, you know what? We're not gonna give it the time of day. Not gonna give it my energy. But if they do come back, I am definitely going to, you know, use it towards songwriting and pushing me even further. So, yeah. Don't know why I had the need to say that, but it is what it is. Okay, we're raw, vulnerable, all that kind of stuff over here. Whatever. Doing a lot of hand gestures. Okay, so far I wrote, I'm optimistic for the future, and with determination, failure is not an option. I actually kind of like that. But the thing is, like, sometimes, oh no, my light. No. Did it die? It died. Okay. Hopefully. Ah, damn. Okay. Hold on. My light died. Let me. Where is my charger? Damn. Damn, Jaina. Okay. I have to change angles a little bit. Hopefully that lighting is not too bad. My light said, bitch, you're taking too long to get to the point. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I'm optimistic for the future, and with determination, failure is not an option. And you know, like in the moment, I like things, and then sometimes I like, you know, go over it again and again, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't like that, or that's corny. But you know what? It's time to get out of my head and just put it on paper and just put it out into the world. Whether people like it or not, hey, as long as I'm doing what I enjoy, I couldn't care less about how people feel, whether my tone needs work, I got it, I'll work on it, whether I'm not matching pitch, whether I'm like monotone or it comes up across as like spoken word. Like, I just know I've been like wanting to do music for so long, but I've been so scared of not being perfect or a vocalist or whatever you want to classify me as. And I'm like, damn, I'll never actually grow and improve if I don't like put myself out there and be able to get feedback from others and stuff. So, you know, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. And I'm just grateful that I finally mustered up some sort of courage, or I stopped being lazy and stopped being in my head too. Like, that helped a lot. So that was like a little bit of a first insight, right? And then I kind of like snowball off of there. So I'm like, okay, so I said I'm optimistic for the future, and with determination, failure is not an option. And then I could snowball into oh, actually, oh, damn. Okay, I'm writing a little too fast, so the words, like, whatever. So then I wrote, even if I fall down 100 times, getting up another is just gonna, and then I was gonna put add to my character, but then I was like, nah, help build character. That's, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like a quick little rundown on what I do, and I actually had a lot of fun with this video. So even though there's like a lot of tangents and, you know, ranting and, you know, side notes or whatever, I actually had fun doing that. So I will come back in another video and we'll just spitball ideas, you know, as if I'm getting like active feedback. But you know what? I'll act like you guys are here with me, and we will just go over it and just have fun. That's what this is, just a fun process. Alright, so I will catch you guys in another video, and I'm sorry this video ended up being unnecessarily long, but we're working on it. We're working on simplifying and just compacting it into a more condensed video that has more delightful nuggets or whatever. Like, I gotta go.